You know what's the hardest part in a diet is to determine what you can eat, or what should you eat on a daily basis. In Singapore, you're so used to getting noodles, rice and stuff, but you're on a low carb diet, we have to avoid those food, and at the end of the day, what can we really eat? So you have to determine and look at your own specific requirements and see if this works for you. Some people may be more open to a vegan diet or vegetarian diet or Mediterranean diet, or ketogenic diet, but low carb diet in general works for me. So I'd like to share with you what happens or what do I eat on a daily basis. Alright, stay tuned. So what do we eat on a low carb diet? What I want to start with is, for beginners, you should just do 3 meals a day. Nothing more, nothing less, just to ease yourself into this diet. So you should contain your food to around 5% of carbs, or as low as possible, 25% of protein, and the rest can come from fat. Do not be afraid of the fat content, okay? That is fine. That is another topic for another day, but keep your fats and your protein higher than your carbs. Because if you're taking carbs, it will continue this cycle of dependency on glucose intake, and your body will never be able to convert to using other energy sources, okay? So let's talk about breakfast. What kind of food should we eat? Number one, eggs are very good source of protein, which meets your macronutrient requirement, and they have other micronutrients and also fat-soluble vitamins like your A, B, D, E, and K. Eggs are good for you throughout the day, in fact, okay? So bacon, yes, you may think that there's a lot, but bacon is actually good if you go for those that are unprocessed. It means as minimal ingredients when you see on the package. Just keep it as simple as possible, so no added sugar, and if there are preservatives included in the packaging, just opt for another type of bacon if possible. Why is bacon good? It provides the protein and the fat to keep your satiety or keep you feeling full for a longer period. Alright, and don't worry about the fat again. I said, as long as you don't take bacon or fatty stuff with carbs or sugar, you'll be fine. The key is not to mix both of them, is to have high in one portion, and obviously high in carbs is bad. So keep either high in vegetables or high in protein or high in fat, but not couple them with carbohydrates. Avocados, again, a good source of monounsaturated fat and vitamins, and green leafy vegetables are one of the best for you. Alright, you can always take that. You can have some lettuce, and this provides you your micronutrients as well. And drink lots of water, but you feel that water is just a little bit too bland, infuse with some lemon, or take tea, black coffee, or green tea will be good for you. So that's for breakfast. Now if we talk about lunch, what should you take for lunch then? For lunch, you can just go to, in Singapore, you can just head towards those mixed rice stalls. Just ask for your meat and your 2 vegetables, or if you feel like it, ask for 2 meat or 1 vegetable, but just don't have rice. Say no rice required. So this will give you your kind of like your pie chart, where you need your protein, your fat, and your vegetables, and no or zero carbs as possible, okay? You can also try brown rice if you want for the mixed rice store, if they have it, right? That will give you a better alternative to white rice, because brown rice is basically complex carbohydrates, which takes longer for it to break down into simple glucose molecules, and this will actually give you more time and gives you a better feeling of fullness, rather than when you take glucose or white rice, which immediately gives you that satisfying feel, but it doesn't last throughout the day. So one thing I like a lot, roast pork. Yes, that crispy sioba, or that roast pork that everybody knows and some of you fear. But the roast pork doesn't give you a problem, because it doesn't have any glucose or sugar coated. It's basically more of salt, and it's cooked, and it's real food. So yes, roast pork is one of the best. And don't go for char siu, because char siu has marination, and when you barbecue, it creates this process called glycation, which is actually bad for your blood vessels. In fact, actually there's more detail. It provides some bad things going on. So char siu, if possible, avoid them. Go for roast pork, crispy roast pork. Or you can also take roast duck or chicken. That is a good alternative. And remember, do not ask for any sauce. And when that is a key criteria, because the sauces may contain sugars or hidden sugars or carbohydrates we should not notice. Sliced fish soup, that is one of my favorite too. It provides you with good omega-3 fatty acids in the fish, so any type of the fish will do. Of course, salmon has one of the higher omega-3 components in there. Again, green leafy vegetables like lettuce, broccoli, cauliflower, anything that is above ground and green, you should take more of those. So let's talk about dinner now. Dinner, usually I like to have steak, but obviously steak, you can't have it every day, it's going to be expensive. Or then in that case, I will just repeat or see what I can do. In that case, I usually repeat for what I have for lunch. I go back to the mixed rice store, I go roast chicken, again, all this real food, and I try to avoid processed food. Okay, after a few days of doing this, the important thing is you will start to feel, hey, I'm not getting so hungry as I used to be. That's because protein and fats keep you full for a longer time. So sometimes you may not even need to have breakfast. That's what happens to me. So for beginners, you start with the 3 meals a day. As you progress along, if you don't feel hungry, then basically don't eat. Usually that happens for me in the morning. I don't feel hungry, so I don't eat. And I usually have my first meal around lunchtime, and then I have my second meal, which is also my last meal, around the evening. And that's it. Why 6 meals a day are not good? Because you always have a constant supply of carbohydrates or glucose. Imagine you have breakfast at, let's say, 8 o'clock. Then at 10, you decide to have a snack. Then you put more glucose into your body. You keep more carbohydrates in your body. So your body always has a constant level of energy. But it doesn't help you because it doesn't use up the fats that is located in your belly. You're always not hungry, so you always have a constant glucose level, which in fact we want them to be reduced. And when you have a constant glucose level, your insulin is also constantly released, and this becomes a negative point because, as you know, if your insulin keeps getting released, you will also tend to store excess glucose as fat. And another thing important when insulin is released, glucagon doesn't get released at all. And glucagon is a hormone that is also released by your pancreas to tell your body that I need more glucose. And when you need more glucose, it can look for your fats to convert into glucose as energy. In a nutshell, if you keep taking so many meals a day, you're never tapping into your fat stores. You're always feeding it enough so that your insulin is always there and always working, and there's no way glucagon is released to help you to release those fats and to generally lower your waistline. So yes, it's kind of like what we have been taught throughout the years, that 6 meals a day, keep your gastric. No, at the end of the day, 2 meals work for me. Sometimes you can even try 1 meal a day, but that's later as you slowly grow into it. But start 3 meals a day. And very important, I would like to summarize one thing. If this whole video you have not captured much things, just remember one thing. Keep to your meals, do not snack in between the meals. Snacking is a form of keeping your insulin high, and in the end, keep storing the excess glucose and fats, okay? I hope this helps you. If you have any questions, put in the comments and I'll try to answer them. Again, I'm here to share with you my experiences. I'm not giving you any medical advice, but I hope this will help you to start off your journey, and I hope that this will help you to pick and at least have some direction of what foods you can eat. Alright, see you in the next video.